Today we're discussing Venus's rather unusual transit through Taurus this year. I'm Ramdas, Sinclair, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel so we can stay in touch. Today I want to talk about Venus's transit through Taurus. Now Venus transits through Taurus each year, but usually he's only in the sign for 1 month. This year, however, because he retrogrades in the sign, he'll be there from today, March 28th, up until July 31st. So that's over 4 months in one sign. So it's 4 times his normal transit. Now, the longer a planet is in a sign, the deeper its impact can be felt on our lives. So it's important to look at what this sign, what Venus in Taurus means, what's the quality of the energy, and then at the end of the video, we'll go through each sign and I'll give you some ideas of how it may manifest in your own chart. First of all, let's talk about Venus in Taurus. Many of you know Venus rules Taurus. And Venus is the most benefic planet. It gives you everything you want. And then you learn the lesson by once you have the stuff, you work with it and figure out really what it means to you. So it will give a lot of results, especially in its own sign. So the way I like to think of the results of Taurus, with Venus in the sign, is that Taurus is fixed Earth. So if you imagine just like a plain field, just an area of dirt, there's nothing growing, it's just abandoned. When Venus comes, Venus is a watery planet. So when you add water to that dirt, suddenly it starts to bloom, and all the beauty of the plants and come forth, and the wildlife will come there, and it really comes to life. So this is the potential we have on many different levels for Taurus to really bloom and give us what he can into our lives. The other symbol with Taurus is the seated bull. So this emphasizes, first of all, his strength and his ability to do a lot of work, but also he's in a seated position, so he's very fixed. So in areas of our life where we tend to be fixed, wherever Taurus sits in our chart, we'll be able to see that. We can also look and see how Venus will give us a little more of the water element's flow. So we can free up things that we're stuck on and help us move forward in life. So those are the major aspects of it. The other thing I want to mention is Venus is what we call very changeable. It's seeking in nature. The Guna term we use is Rajas. So Rajas means always searching and everything. And Venus, contrary to some of the Western images of Venus, Venus can be quite forceful in the Vedas. In fact, one of the avatars of Vishnu who came to teach us about Venus is named Parashurama. And he is quite a fierce force, a fierce character. He, really defended the Dharma and what is right. So Venus has, while very material aspirations here, there's also a higher calling to Venus that can be activated, especially when it's in one of its own signs and able to give its best results. Before we go into the sign by sign, I'd like to just mention in the annual U.S. chart video, we have Capricorn rising. So I thought it'd be interesting to look at what Venus means in the U.S. chart. So if Capricorn is rising, Venus will be placed in the 5th house of Taurus. Now the 5th house is a very auspicious placement in the chart. This is where our past good deeds come to light, and this is where they get activated. So I think this has a good indication for the U.S. chart. So Taurus is the sign of production, of producing material goods. And so I believe Venus there, with its impetus towards action, will help us begin to produce all the things that we need to face the current situation we're in. This will be especially in the U.S. because I'm looking at the U.S. chart. Now, The other thing is that the Taurus is the natural second house of earned income, and it's being placed in the U.S. chart in the sign of speculation and gains. So I think this will have a stabilizing influence on the U.S. stock market. So those are just a few things I wanted to mention up front, and now we're going to go a little bit more into the sign by sign. So let's start with Aries rising. So if Aries is your rising sign, or if your moon is in Aries, then you can expect that during this time, Venus is likely to clear away objects and relationships that are no longer beneficial for you. This is a great time to clean out that drawer or closet that you've been avoiding. If you have your Lagna or your moon in the sign of Taurus, then Venus will be placed in your first house, and this will have a global impact on your life. So this can bring a lot of advancement and progress, especially on the material level for you. Additionally, you may encounter some obstacles of health because Venus also is ruling your sixth house. But his forceful nature in the first, I think, will help you overcome any obstacles you're facing. Gemini. If you have Gemini in your ascendant, or if your moon is in Gemini, then this will put Taurus in the 12th house. So look for rewards in your spiritual practice, in your relationship with your siblings, with your friends, and even with your partners. You may feel a little bit like isolating and being quiet, and that's okay, because that can fuel your creative endeavors for the next year. Cancer. If you have moon in Cancer, or if Cancer is your rising sign, then Taurus will be in the 11th house. And here, Venus can bring windfall or sudden profits. This can be quite good for material gains. But you need to take care of your health, and remember that things do not bring happiness. Really for you as a Cancer rising, or with your moon in Cancer, you need to be with people. Now, right now, that's such an issue because, almost the whole world is on lockdown. But you need to continue to maintain contact with your family, your friends, your colleagues, because you need to be in a spirit of caring for them and nurturing them. This is what activates the Cancer energy. So keep checking in virtually and things will go well for you. If you have the moon in Leo, or if your ascendant is in Leo, then Taurus will be in the 10th house. So this is the house of career. And so Venus here in the, sign of Taurus can bring promotions and recognition in your career. Now remember to maintain a work-life balance, because Venus can make you work really hard. And, Taurus is also a sign of hard work. So that you need to be able to balance the hard work of Taurus with relaxation, which is what Venus is bringing, in order to have, a really productive time and avoid burnout. If your moon or ascendant are in the sign of Virgo, that will place Taurus in your 9th house. Venus can bring financial rewards for your often overlooked contributions. It's a good time to tackle new projects and start advanced study in a familiar area. So this is time to go a little bit further. The 9th house is the sign of advanced learning. So if there's something that you're thinking about for yourself, or for your career, it would be a great time to follow that idea and see what kind of progress you can make in the next 4 months. Libra, if your moon is in Libra, or if Libra is your rising sign, then you have Taurus placed in the 8th house. Venus may bring insight and resolution into ongoing family issues. This may also be a time for new business ventures, but investigate the details before you proceed. You want to make sure that you clearly understand the deal and you do your background check on the people you're working with. Scorpio. So if your moon is in Scorpio, or if Scorpio is your rising sign, then Taurus falls in the 7th house. And this is where partnerships are indicated. So your partnerships can bring you financial rewards. This is both business and personal partnerships. This is an important time to talk to your partners and make sure that you're both on the same page in the relationship. It's a great way to use Venus's energy to let your partners know how much you mean to them and make sure everything is in balance. It's always good to tend to those relationships. Sagittarius. If your moon's in Sagittarius or the Sagittarius is your rising sign, then Taurus is going to fall into your 6th house. Venus here can bring health concerns, so take all the appropriate precautions. This is also time to resolve old conflicts and patterns which cause anxiety in your life. Capricorn. If your moon's in Capricorn or if Capricorn is in your ascendant, then Taurus is going to fall in the 5th house. So Venus will enhance your creativity and may bring rewards from speculation. This can also bring clarification about your relationships with children in your life. Now, that can be your own children, that can be if you work with children, or even your ideas of wanting to have children may change during this time. So it's good if that's coming out. If that's an issue in your life, then do some work and meditation on that. Journaling and figure out what could be beneficial for you. Let's look at Aquarius. If your moon or ascendant are in Aquarius, then Taurus is going to fall in your 4th house. So this is a great time to clean out your house and do some redecorating. Try rearranging the furniture to give yourself a different perspective on your environment. Time to let go of all the items which are not useful or functional. This is an aspect of Venus's because it's water. It can help clear away stuff that's no longer necessary. And finally, we look at Pisces. So if your moon is in Pisces or the ascendant is in Pisces, then the 3rd house will have the sign of Taurus. So this will give you the desire to socialize and reconnect with colleagues and friends. Thankfully, we can maintain physical distance while still maintaining social contact through social media. So I encourage you to use those things. Additionally, I believe this will bring deep insights. Venus can really help you understand what it is that you feel would really make you happy. Because this whole time, Venus gives us a lot of material goods, but often does not give us that sense of satisfaction. So, thank you very much for watching this. Please leave a comment below, and I hope you stay safe and stay inside. Namaste.